So I thought today I would share some ideas that I had in mind on some really cool storage if you are limited on space. You can even use these as kits for on the go. Hey, I'm Donna and I'm happy to have you here today. We're going to start off with my basic supplies. So for my must-have craft supplies, I will definitely have a glue gun, a hot glue gun. This is a small one, along with some glue sticks, and these are short glue sticks, so they store really well. Glue stick, and I also would have some small bottles of my favorite glue. I like tacky glue, along with a matte decoupage glue. They conveniently have these little bottles that you can pick up at Dollar Tree, along with tacky glue. You can also get glue sticks and then hot glue sticks at Dollar Tree as well. Some other basics that I like to have is I like to use plastic lids for my palettes, and then I also like to have a container for water, a rag, paintbrushes in different sizes. There's a fine, medium, and a large bristle. And then I also like to have plastic flexible cards. You can use old gift cards or what have you. These are really great to spread your paint or medium around. So a steel ruler is great to have on hand, along with a craft knife. This way you can cut with a nice straight edge, and this of course won't get damaged. I like to have a bone folder on hand as well. This is really great to smooth things out if you're doing decoupage or some other paper projects. A good pair of scissors, a pencil with an eraser, glasses, this is a must-have for me. And then I really love these chopping mats. You can pick these up at Dollar Tree. You get 2 in a package, and there's one side is shiny, the other side is matte. These are great to protect your surface. You can cut them down to a smaller size if you need to. And having 2 in a pack is great, so if one gets damaged, you always have an alternative. They are nice and thin, so they store really well. And then something else I would definitely have on hand at all times is some gesso. It's a primer. Artists use it to prime their canvases, but I like to use this on lots of different surfaces before I apply craft paint. And you could also use this to create some texture on some pieces. And of course, you're going to need some paints. So I would definitely, if I was limited on space, have this size, the 2 fluid ounce. But majority of my paints are the 4 fluid ounces. These actually would be colors that I would keep on hand regularly. This one's smoke. It's a nice light gray color. I would have cream, which is an off-white. Leaf green, it's one of my favorite greens. And what I like to do is mix my cream and green together if I need to create a lighter green. It's a really good option. Turquoise, again, you can mix these 2 colors together if you need to. Burnt umber. Burnt umber could be used to distress things. You could also have black. That would be a great base. I don't use much black. I prefer to use burnt umber. I would definitely keep gel stain, the walnut gel stain on hand, and some matte varnish. These are both by DecoArt. They are my favorites. Of course, adjust your supplies as needed. Of course, totes always come in handy. Michael's always has these iris cases. I have used these a lot, especially for craft kits on the go. These can carry all the basic essentials for crafting. family and I, we like to go camping quite a bit in the summertime, and I always like to have some arts and craft supplies on hand for those times where we're not sure what to do with ourselves because of weather or what have you. I really like to use these iris cases. So I'm just going to show you the things that I pack up in here for our camping trips. I have a roll of paintbrushes here. This is so handy. It keeps them all nice and stored away. I picked this up at a store called Dollarama, but I have seen these at lots of arts and crafts stores as well as other dollar stores. I have a pencil case that is full of colored pencils. I've got scissors in here. I've also got mechanical pencils. Mechanical pencils are great because then you don't have to worry about packing a pencil sharpener if you don't have to worry about that. Of course, I have some watercolor pencils as well as some regular pencils. So I do need to have a pencil sharpener in here. So I just keep a little one on hand. You can use those larger ones that will hold your shavings for you if you'd like. I have a glue stick, an eraser. So that all goes in here. And then I also keep watercolor brushes on hand. These actually typically go in this pouch as well. And this is actually a little mister. These are really handy to have for doing watercolor as well. So I like to keep those in here. And when we're camping, we're always near water. So I would just fill this up with lake water actually. So of course you're going to need a container for water, and I'm going to put a rag in here, but sometimes I'll just use paper towel. You'll also want an assortment of paints that you'd like, because these are always fun to use when you're painting rocks. And then these are really cool. So I got these at a store called Dollarama, and you can use these for coloring, of course. They're already sketched out. They're really, really beautiful. But you can also use watercolor on these. So this is one I had done, but these are just amazing. But I've seen lots of different types out there. This is one that one of my kids had worked on. The other beautiful thing about these is that, or awesome thing, is that they're perforated and they're only printed on one side. So you can tear it out and work away on it or whatever you like to do. So I like to have some of those on hand. I also like to have some watercolor paper. I had picked this up a long time ago at Target when Canada had Target, so that's really good. If something like this is too big, you can cut the paper down to size, into smaller sizes like this. Then it's a bit more easily portable. You can also get small paper pads such as this. This is Strathmore mixed media. So mixed media, you can get it wet or you can just draw it. You can use whatever you want on here. It is a thicker paper, so it's a really great multi-purpose. But say you're just into sketching, have your sketch pad and your pencils and eraser. You don't need to have a box this big if you don't want. So another thing I like to put in here are some watercolors. These are ones that I had bought myself quite a while ago. And then here's some other ones. Great to take camping. If you go to the thrift store, you can definitely find some really unique pieces. I have found these really beautiful pouches. You can put some watercolor supplies or journaling supplies in these. They are great to have. And this one's really, really sturdy. And this one's really neat because it's got like lots of different pockets, as you can see. It also has a tie and a little wrist holder, so you can take this on the go. Again, great if you're into watercoloring or journaling, even sketching. These would both be great to have little sketch supplies in as well. This little camera case I thought was really cool. It has a couple of different little compartments, and it's got this little buckle. You can just pop that open and see the little compartments there. It has a strap for you to throw on over your shoulder. So this would be really good for just tucking a few supplies away. You could put like paints in here or some assorted papers I thought would be really good too. Cigar boxes. I don't come across these very often, but I found this one, and I have actually created a little kit that fit inside here. I'll show you what that looks like. But these are really great too. You can look for lots of different types of wood containers, and even like little baskets, picnic baskets work great for storage as well. They look like beautiful decor pieces as well, and they are really easy to take on the go. So this is a box that I have actually had for a really long time, and I did a lot of crocheting, poorly, but I did. And I kept all my supplies in this orange box. Now it does need to be fixed up. The lid has collapsed a bit, but everything is still in there. So I use this old makeup bag that I had on hand to store my needles and any other little bits that I needed. All kinds of different sizes here to do all kinds of different projects. You can see I was working on a scarf, and I have all kinds of different yarns. This is another scarf that I was working on. And then I also have some needles in here to keep on hand. And then I had this, you know what, I can't remember. This is some type of a loom. I can't remember. It's a European loom, and you can make cording. So I had stuff like this in here as well. Everything tucked in here really nicely. And all I did was just set it aside in my living room, and then it was readily available for me to use. So this next piece is actually a really cool, unique one, and I'm really excited to share this with you. This was my husband's great-grandpa's briefcase, and it actually came from Germany. And I thought that this would be such a cool piece to store journaling or sketching supplies in. Of course, it has these buckles that you just have to pop open, and it's got several different compartments. And all you have to do is just your sketchbook in here, along with your sketching supplies. And I always need my glasses, so I would definitely throw those in there as well. And there you've got some storage that would look great on display, and it would be really easy just to grab this and go as well. So I thought another really cool piece to use for craft storage would be old metal lunch kits. This actually was my dad's, and he stored all his soldering supplies in here, and all those supplies are actually still in here. I didn't take them out because I actually wanted some soldering supplies, but it's got so much storage. So I mean, you even have this upper portion here that you could put some stuff in. So this would definitely look really cool on display as well. And you can store all kinds of different little craft supplies in here. So another piece of storage that I thought would be really, really cool is this old file folder holder. This actually was, again, my dad's, and it even had some locks, which I thought was cool. I'm not using those locks, but it's got so much storage in here. This would be so cool, again, to have on display in your home. So really just think outside the box. You can use suitcases, you can use beautiful tins. So I'm actually wanting to put together a little craft kit for myself upstairs. All my craft supplies are down here in the basement. And again, I'm grateful for the space that I have, but still, once in a while, it would be really, really nice to be able to have some stuff upstairs for me to use. So this actually was my husband's Oma's sewing kit. Sewing notions box, is that what it's called? If you know, please leave the proper terminology for me in the comment section. I've been wanting to turn this into a little kit for myself for upstairs. It's got lots of storage, which I thought was really, really cool. So I have all the original pieces in here from when it was given to me. So I'm going to clean everything out, and then I'm going to show you what I plan on putting in here. Okay, I gathered up some supplies that I want to have in here so I could do maybe some art journaling. That's what I thought this would be really great for. Of course, feel free to use something like this any way you'd like. I'm going to just fill it up with all kinds of stuff that I like to use for art journaling. Of course, my glasses, an assortment of glues, got decoupage and tacky. I don't have any in here yet, but I will be putting some gesso in here. I have my favorite distress ink with some sponges. I've got a tape runner as well as a glue stick, an assortment of tools. I have scissors and a craft knife. I did have to go with some smaller scissors to fit in the box. And then I've got my favorite black pen and a pencil, some mechanical pencil with some lead. I did altered a book, and this has been like just an experimental thing. I just kind of play around in here, do different techniques. There's no real right or wrong when it comes to art journaling. It's a really fun book, actually. So I want this to be in here. And then I'm also going to include some watercolor paper. I have my roll of paintbrushes. Next, I'm going to include my assortment of some smaller watercolors. I have my koi, and then the pearl macaron that I recently got from Temu. And then some pearlized paints as well. And then my little watercolor brush as well as a mini mister. I'm going to be putting my glasses over here with my tools. It's in a case so it's not going to get damaged, because I actually want to put some paints on this side. These are just an assortment of some acrylic paints. You could use some craft paints as well. And then I've got some word stickers. I got them at Temu. I have these die cuts, and I got these at a local dollar store. Thought they were really fun, and it's got a good selection. And then I got an assortment of some papers for decoupage or glue booking. More decorative papers, again, same purpose. These ones actually came from Stationery Pal, another great online store. And then this is some vellum. And then again, I'm going to slip the word stickers in here. I'm hoping they'll fit there. And there, I've got a kit ready to go for upstairs for whenever I feel like getting creative. I actually really enjoy art journaling. It is so relaxing, and it's a great way to get creative. And you can put yourself a kit like this together, and you've got enough supplies to create all kinds of fun and different things. If you're looking for some more craft room organization ideas that are really cool and that are thrifted, then definitely check this video out right here. Let me know all your tips and tricks by leaving me a comment down below. Thank you so much for being here today, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.